Let Gamescom 2026 commence. How we doing, people? Good morning. Good afternoon. Well, we'll keep it good morning because it's quite early here. How we doing? How we feeling? It's showtime. Are we excited? We feeling good?
A new agent is joining your team.
Midnight Dice, Steel, Hero, Sneaky, Eden, Relentless, J-Rod, Quiet. Aikido, what's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. We already have a ton of people watching. Chris, thank you so much for the 5 gifted man on Twitch. Incredibly kind of you. Before we even switch to the main screen, if anyone got gifted a sub by Chris over on Twitch, please drop him a thank you for as kind as he is. My thing can't even keep up here. Mackleback, thank you very much for the prime. Nimrod, thank you for the tier 1. That's very kind. Kicking off a hype train. Today's the day. If anyone out there doesn't know what is going on, the Division 2 is at Gamescom this week. We have 2 panels. One is, whoops, I clicked the wrong screen. It's really going to get me. One is today, as you can see right here on the horizon, and one is tomorrow. And we know today they're talking about Crossplay and the new season. That is all that is confirmed so far, but assuredly there will be more. So the waiting and the guessing is over. Midnight said, dying for info on D3 in Central Park. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I think Division 3 might be a long shot. But you never know. You never know. Matt Kane with the 200 bits. Demarsh needs to clean up after himself. Thank you, sir. Demarsh with the 2,000 bits. Good lord. Did someone say bits? He found a new treasure trove. Thank you so much, man. That's incredibly generous. I think the most... What's going on, Karha? I think the most regarding Div 3 is a teaser. I just think if they were going to have given us anything on Division 3 this year, it would have been at the 10th anniversary. Like, I don't know. Nothing in development at the stage they're in is really going to have changed conceptually compared from March to now, I don't think. And so I don't know why they would do it here and not at the 10th anniversary where it was like a big community celebration. But that is just me. That is just me. Chris, be too late. What's up? Former Destiny 2 player here having fun with Division 2. Welcome.
A new agent is joining your
We're
team.
happy to have you here. I hope you've been enjoying your time. Today's a pretty fun day. We got some big reveals coming, so I hope you enjoy. But thanks so much for being a part of this and the community. Nimrod, also with the 5 gifted on Twitch. Thank you, sir. Incredibly kind. Once again, if anyone got gifted one of those, please help me share the appreciation and drop a thanks in the chat. Speed Racer with the primary sub. Thank you, my friend. Nimrod, Chris, Demarsh, Matt, thank you all so much. Matt said, Rogue, do you know how the Discord rewards work? I think you have to go to your Ubisoft account settings online and link your account. That said, if we pull up, there was confirmation from Leo saying that they're going to find a way to give the rewards to everybody later. Because there was some question about how exactly that's all going to work. So I don't think you have to stress too much about the Discord stuff. Because apparently they're going to be finding an alternative way to give it out.
A new agent is joining your team.
All I ask for is a nerf on skill builds in Conflict, please. Well, you're in luck. We have a skills rebalance coming with the new season. And the team seemingly leaked / early confirmed that the new season is coming tomorrow. So this, earlier they posted out just reminding people of the panel today. And you can see that somebody said, new season coming August 27th, which is tomorrow, because that's what the in-game calendar suggests. And then it says, will the full patch notes be available right away? And the team said they will. You'll be able to check out the full patch notes today after our first panel. So, for those who are wondering if the new season is kind of shadow dropping, it seems like it may be.
A new agent is joining your team.
So many things are happening, folks. Limitless with the 27 months on YouTube. Says, yo, I was waiting for this all day long. Well, thanks for being here, man.
A new agent
And thank you
is
so much for
joining your team.
27 months. That's insane. Holy people. Demarsh with another 100 bits. Ruthless with the Prime. Franco with the Tier 1. Sith with the resub Tier 1. Level 99 with the Prime. Tricky with the Tier 1 resub. Dice with the 5-stream streak. Franco with the 1100 bits. And Malamizi with the Prime resub, I should say. Thank you all. I can hardly keep up. That is incredibly kind of you all. How many people do we have here right now?
A new agent is joining your team.
250 on Twitch, over 550 on YouTube. Welcome in, folks. Very excited to be here.
A new agent is joining your team.
They're giving us Rainbow Six Tactics as their hope for a Division-themed tactics game. You never know, right? I would imagine most of the available Division resources at this point are going to Div 3, but you truly never know with Ubisoft. We'll leave it at that, right? We will leave it at that. My goodness, people, it just keeps coming in. Bon with the 5 gifted on YouTube. Thank you, man. Very good to see you. I'm sorry if I missed you in chat. It is kind of flying by here on my end, but that's very kind, dude. I know you're not super ingrained in Division these days, but I hope you're looking forward to whatever they may announce today. Thank you so much for the generosity. Chris with the 28 months. I cannot keep up with this. Jive with the Prime resub. Oh, I read that message, but thank you, man. Tricky with the 10 gifted. Has with the Prime. Real Crucial with the 1 gifted. Demarsh with the 10 gifted. Solo Riot with the Prime. Tricky with the 1 gifted. What are we doing, people? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me leave you with a nicer image to look at while we chat. This is some of the concept art that they dropped for Central Park. My goodness, folks. I see you now in chat, Bond. Thank you, sir. Super hyped for the updates? Hell yeah. Yeah, we were saying a moment ago, people are asking if Division 3 is realistic. I don't think so personally. I think they would have dropped it in March if they were going to talk about it this year. But even if we just get Central Park and Survivors and maybe a surprise or two, I'd be pretty content with that. Guardian said, you the man, brother, watching for years. Thank you. Salute to you, my friend. Thanks so much for continuing to come back. It means the world. N7 Commander with the 1 gifted. Thank you, guys. I cannot say thank you enough. Still Tricky with the 10. That's incredibly kind. Franco dropping 1100 bits. Blindy, thank you for the Prime resub. I will give you all a heads up. Once we switch to the panel and the live show, I am going to turn off the alerts just so that you all can clearly hear and see the presentation. So I just want to make that very clear now. But we've still got about 25 minutes until that begins. Thank you all for the love. Incredibly, incredibly appreciated. Bearded, subbing to Tier 1. Thank you. When does the Division stream start for Gamescom? In about 24 minutes. We just went live a little bit early to speculate and discuss and catch up before we dive into the craziness. There we go, J-Rod. Thank you for dropping that. Appreciation for Bon. Boney Stark, what's up, man? Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Lucas with the hydrate, thank you. I actually very much need to remember that today. New season's going to be awesome. I need to make a True Patriot build tomorrow. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more viable builds, absolutely. any hints about what the new season is about. We actually already know a decent bit of details. They had the PTS the other week. It's going to be called Red Horizon. The cleaners are coming to DC, so there'll be like cleaner control points and activities to do on the DC map, and they're doing a big PvE rebalance, so a bunch of sets are getting buffed up to try and better compete with Striker. They're rebalancing brands. There's some new items, all that kind of stuff. A new DZ variant, the Blackout DZ. My goodness, people. I can't keep up, but Stel said, hey, Rogue, fairly new to Division 2, but loving the game. Your videos have helped. Coming from Destiny 2, it's really filled the void. I'm very happy to hear it, Stealth. We are happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Enjoy today. Should be some good community hype, some fun. On the Twitch side, people, thank you so much for the generosity. Demarsh with another 10. Tricky with another 10. You guys are wild. That is too kind. Thank you both so much. And Demarsh with another 300 bits. That hype train is flying by. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cleaners coming to DC? Indeed, indeed. That is kind of the pitch for the season. Does that mean cleaner retaliation in DC? Yes, I believe they confirmed that will work. And there'll be a new cleaner kill squad within retaliation, similar to the what were those guys called in season 1? But the Black Tusk one, and then the Knock Knock gang that we have right now in Into the Dark. But that does mean that if you want to get any current season objectives done, log in today. Because it seems as though the new season is likely coming tomorrow. Well, once again, people, thank you for the overwhelming generosity so early into the stream today. We've got nearly 350 people watching on Twitch, over 650 on YouTube. I hope you all are excited. I am. I've been looking forward to this, obviously, but it should be a good bit of fun. Bond with 35 bits on Twitch. Didn't realize I had bits just sitting there. Well, thank you for sending them my way, man. You certainly didn't have to. Very kind. Yeah, Dice Company 95 is the new one. I was trying to recall what the squad from Season 1, what their name was. The Black Tusk. BTSU Team 9. Yes, thank you. Deus and Aqua. Yes, yes, yes. Team 9. Team 9 and Company 95 are a little too similar in my brain. I'm probably going to mix those up. Demarsh with another 2,000 bits. What are we doing, man? Found these in my backyard. Thank you, sir. Please, you've been generous enough. Thank you, thank you. Daddy O'Nate with the 5 bits as well. Thank you. Limitless joining up in classified status over on YouTube. Holy folks. We're not even speculating. We're just thanking. I appreciate you all very, very much. Scotty with the tier 1 resub said, big day. Here we go. Indeed, indeed. Thank you, Scotty. Yeah, I'm excited. Postman said, you and Livin need to stop streaming at the same time. It's not fair. If there's a way to stagger official news so that not everyone is live at the same time, then I would agree with you. 20 minutes to start, just about. Probably a little under 19 minutes from right now. And we'll switch over well in advance to be on there, but just hanging out for now. What are your thoughts on the new Steel and Sons ACR? What kind of builds have you put together with it? Pieces? Been rocking Striker and Overlord armaments. The one that I was trying on the live game was 3 aces with the chess piece, Ninja Bike, Eagle's Grasp, and Fox's Prayer. I liked it a good bit, actually. That's one thing we can look at while we're here. Because we got a little bit of a tease that they may be buffing it, which would make me very happy. So, somebody said, any plans to buff the Steel and Sons? It feels rather weak and underwhelming. And then the game director here, Alex, said, I think we did end up buffing it, it just didn't make it into the dev notes.
Agent is joining your team.
If true, big if true, we'll leave it at that. Big if true. I'd be very, very excited to see that. And again, given that they said the full patch notes are coming today, we're going to know in just an hour or two if this is actually happening. But I would love to see it. Deus, thank you very much for the 5 gifted on YouTube, my guy. King Gannon as well with the 1 gifted on Twitch. Parkman with the Prime. You guys are wild. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hype Train complete at level 10. Thank you so much, everybody on the Twitch side, for making that happen. 65 gifted subs and 5,700 bits. What in the hell? We haven't even gotten to the main events. Thank you all so much for all of the support. Strike Third Eye, what's up? Been working a lot, but returning back to the game. What are they announcing for Division 2? So we have 2 panels happening. There's one today and one tomorrow. The one today is called On the Horizon. They've confirmed that they will be talking about crossplay and season 3 called Red Horizon. I assume there will be other things, potentially the DLC, given they've been talking about it so much. And then tomorrow we have another one called March into the Future, and that's where they confirmed they will be talking about survivors. So lots of news across today and tomorrow. If anybody can't stay for the full stream here, no worries. We're, of course, going to do recap videos of everything over on the channel, but lots of stuff happening this week. Any news on cross-platform? In about 30 minutes, or sometime in this panel, there will be. Draconis, thank you for the 40 stream streak, my guy. That's wild. Said, let's go. Thank you, thank you. Organ Grinder with the Prime. God, y'all are generous. Sincerely, thank you for all the love, people. Got my Manhunt 5 shirt from the merch store. Looking forward to sporting it at work tonight. Hell yeah, man. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for picking one up. I was really happy with how it came out. So I hope you love it. Thank you, thank you. New season starts tomorrow. We'll find out for sure on the stream, but it sure sounds like it, given what they said here. New season coming August 27th, ? And they said you'll be able to check out the full patch notes today after our first panel. And they really don't drop patch notes unless it's coming the following day. So... Steel and Sons ACR looking forward to the upcoming Aces buff. Should really help things. 100%. What Discord do I need to be in for the in-game items? They said the Division 2's official one, which you should be able to find linked on their socials and on their website and whatnot. But like we covered, it seems as though they may just grant it out. Because somebody said, like, in Brazil, I guess you cannot even join Discord watch parties. And so our ComDev Leo said we will find a way to give it to everyone later. Let you know once we have details. So if you want to be safe, you can join the Division's official Discord, but apparently they're going to work to give it out. Any chance they stealth drop the DLC for this season? I mean, it's coming if they don't delay it, it's coming sometime in the next, 4 months? They say it's coming 2026. So if it's not coming this season, then it would be coming in December, which is when we would assume season 4 begins, because that's 3 months from now. So it's either coming this season or at the very end of the year, unless it's been delayed. So it should be coming quite soon. DLC tomorrow. Can you imagine? I think no marketing for it would be kind of wild, but when will season 3 start? Most likely tomorrow, given what they've said right here.
A new agent is joining your team.
Ravenous One, thank you so much for the gifted sub, my friend. And whomever may have received that in the chat, please drop a thank you as well, if you're able. I'm pretty sure DLC is going to be March with tomorrow's title panel. Could be. that they're gonna have a lot of ground to cover if they do DLC and survivors tomorrow, but that could very well be. The Facebook announcement confirms it. What does Facebook say? I don't venture over there. It scares me. Did they confirm that crossplay is sometime in year 8? Yes, they did. Crossplay will be huge. It's probably like the number one thing that I receive comments on of people being like, when is this happening? So I think it's gonna be pretty big indeed. Are you expecting anything from today's panel? I'm expecting an update on crossplay. We're almost there. I'm like, just feed me the info. I'm ready. Do you think they'll drop something small about Div 3? I don't believe so personally. I think if they were going to talk about Div 3 this year, it would have been back at the 10th anniversary. But certainly never say never. Thalin, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. Very kind. Again, we're going to have to turn the alerts off in just a minute here for watching the stream purposes. But thank you all so much for the insane generosity, folks. Across YouTube and Twitch. Incredibly kind of y'all today. I appreciate the love. It is an absolute pleasure to be able to come on here and have you all tune in with me to watch this stuff. Drumpel said, thank you for the Division coverage. When I tried to come back after the game died, your videos helped me out. Thanks for the coverage you do. Wouldn't be able to keep up. You're very welcome. Thank you for watching the videos. I wouldn't be here if y'all didn't. The Gaming Brigade, hello, sir. Working away, wanted to say hello. Hello, hello. I hope all is well, man. Great to see you in here. Sith, thank you for the hydrate. Let's do that before we switch over to the stream feed. Never been a better time to be a Division fan. It's a pretty good time, that's for sure. Is there anything you haven't been able to talk about or announce from your trip to Massive earlier on in the year? Yes. If I had a webcam right now in the feed, you would see my really smug smirk. I started Div 2 in February, and I'd have probably gotten overwhelmed if I didn't quit. Oh, overwhelmed and quit if I didn't find your channel. It's helpful, and you don't over-explain. I'm very happy to hear it. Lilith, thank you for checking the videos out. Thank you for sticking around. And I'm super happy to have been able to help you on your Division journey. Isn't smug smirk just your resting face? Shush, Postman, shush. You don't know. Yes, it is. All right, I'm going to, just so everyone knows, I'm going to disable alerts right now because we're about to switch over to the feed. But very quickly, So we have 2 days of division panels coming. Today is on the horizon. They're talking about crossplay, we know for sure, and the next season. And then tomorrow we have another one diving into survivors and more. Before we switch over to the stream feed, I want to hear from you all. What are your final last-minute predictions on what today's panel is going to give us news-wise? Could be timelines, could be surprises. What are you thinking? Morelli, hello. Been watching a long time. Just wanted to say keep up the good content. I just started streaming. Hopefully get up there one day. Thank you so much. I wish you the best of luck in your streaming endeavors. You got to have a lot of patience and determination. You know, it takes quite a while to refine your style and build a community and all that, but I wish you the best of luck. It's a very fulfilling thing, and thank you so much for watching. Tons of comments flying in. Let's see. DLC tomorrow. New Central Park trailer. Central Park release date. Lots of Central Park stuff I'm seeing. Division 4. This guy gets it. That's the real gold right there. All right, well, let's switch over. I'll stop teasing everybody. I'm going to put you on this screen really quick so that I can just make sure we are properly switching over. Set up all the things here correctly. All right. So there's still, Division is in a few minutes, but they're wrapping up whatever this is.
Early build demo.
Just want to check volume.
Of Heroes.
I assume y'all can hear that. It looks like it should be coming through.
Oh, majestic creature. Can you take a closer look at this griffin, please?
But we will mute it until we get to showtime. Can I increase? I'm going to bump up the audio for when we do switch back because it seemed a little quiet. It's pretty low. It's like at full volume.
Sorry. Imps are different. Get it together, Chris.
Good to get this sorted now before they switch to division stuff.
Thanks, Libertarian. Appreciate you. Okay. So
is that a little better?
All right. So here's the thing, too, right? Like, it's not just creature art, it's world art. So, like, this is as far as I can zoom in for now, but, like, I love this river. You can see kind of the sharpness of the river banks, but it's, like, very meandering. It's got this reflection.
DeMar said better.
The water wheel.
I'm waiting to see someone else say, okay, sound is good.
Into this sawmill, it really just feels like it's part of
Audio's fine. All right, we'll leave it at that until it is time. We have about 4 minutes until we begin. Orion, I see you, dude. Hello. Lazaire said, is the SIG MCX SMG still worth using in 2026? Trying to branch out from the same weapons every time. It's the one I barely use. Is that the MPX? I assume the in-game name, I assume, is the one you're referring to. As far as I'm aware, that's one of the better SMGs. It's the one that I use a lot of the time if I'm going to go for an SMG setup. So 100% I think it's worth using. 100%. Great time to be an agent. Be back, I see you. Keith, what's up, man? I have 700 Nemesis kills. Should I quit now? Of course not. You got to get to 1,000. You might have the world record for Nemesis kills, man. I know I see your updates in the comments every now and then. You're crazy dedicated. Are there any drops for Division? Not like Twitch drops. They're doing some sort of like Discord giveaway. It's a little bit nebulous, but it sounds like they might do a wider grant of that because of the confusion around it. But there's no direct Twitch drops today. What do you think they'll talk about today? Well, we know they're talking about Crossplay and the new season. I would guess that they will discuss the DLC today so as to not stack that up with Survivors tomorrow. But as far as what is confirmed, we know Crossplay and new season. Lord Beatus, what's up? Destiny 2 Refugee here. So glad I found a new home with the Division 2. We're happy to have you. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, today is going to be a pretty fun day for older and newer fans alike. Lots of announcements, lots of things. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope you continue enjoying your time in Division. King Gannon, thank you very much for the one gifted over on YouTube. My guy, gifted on Twitch and YouTube. That's very generous of you. Whoever received that in the YouTube chat, if you're there, please drop a thank you. All right, they should be switching. We're going to turn volume on once it begins. If there's any...
Oh my gosh.
If we need to turn audio up, down, whatever, just send it in the chat, and I'll do it. You might hear me exclaim at different parts of the panel. This is an hour long, so don't expect a ton of commentary from me during, but of course we will continue talking about it afterwards.
You know, I feel like that should be the case for Fairy. They are Fae. Like there's a little bit of creepiness.
Get ready, people.
And that's
thank you again so much for all of the love today.
Pasco, you came for the Division.
I couldn't thank you all
Well, you're in the right place. It's coming up so shortly. I'm going to build one more thing in my castle, and then we're going to get
How are things looking right now? Or sounding right now, I should say.
Because they will be ready for us. Let's
Is this better?
Build Griffin Bastion and see how this... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it looks great. All right, so we'll be seeing more of this later in the week as Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Remake returns to the stage at Gamescom tomorrow. I'll give you the full breakdown of the schedule once this Division 2 panel concludes. But for now, let's gear up. It's Division 2 time. The developers are waiting, and they're on standby. Well, no, I'm on standby. They're waiting. They're getting set for you to join them, chat. Now, a few things to keep in mind. If you have questions for them, I'm not sure how much of a Q&A is going to be featured in this one, but keep an eye on the Twitch chat for a link to a Slido, which is like where you type in the questions and then it sends them there. They won't be looking at the Twitch chat itself. Without further ado, it is time to send you back to Cologne for the Division 2 panel. Enjoy.
Let's go, people. Let's go.
Here, and before we start, I want to share something really cool. We recently reached a major milestone for the franchise. We are now over 50 million Division agents. How cool is that? Come on.
Hell yeah. 50 million of you out there worldwide.
I hope most of you are tuning in today because we got a lot to share. My name is Anais. I'm community developer on the Division 2, and I will be your host today. Not alone, I'm in great company, starting with my co-host.
Hello, everyone. Now it's working. I'm Leo Lorenzoni, as well, community developer for the Division 2. And today, we're going to take a look on what's happening soon in the Division 2. So we're going to talk about Red Horizon, our next season, about Crossplay, and something that I know that a lot of people have a big interest on, Central Park.
Yes. We also have a very familiar face, somebody who's been with the Division for so long, he's a boss in the game. Our creative director,
Hello, everyone. My name is Yannick Banchero. Super excited to see all of you. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
Also, the man who can do one tweet and it turns into 20 Reddit theories. Our game director.
Hi everybody, I'm Alexandru Burzano.
That's so true,
I'm
though.
the game director for the game. Super hyped to be here. It's my first Gamescom ever, so let's have a blast.
Gamescom, baby.
Rookie.
Before we start with today's agenda, I want to cover what everybody's interested in, merch. Everybody here will get some cool merch when you leave, but we're not leaving you behind. Of course, the people watching online will get in-game replicas of these cool t-shirts if you join our Discord server, official Discord server, and connect your Ubisoft account. It also is an accompanying arm patch. So do that before the end of the panel tomorrow. And yeah, we'll do the grants before end of week. And also, Silo. So anybody asking questions online, you have a Silo link. We actually have a Q&A tomorrow, so we will cover all of those questions then. We won't answer any of those questions right now. Now, let's get to something that everybody wants to hear about. It's one of the biggest community requests we've ever seen. What am I talking about?
Crossplay, they're diving straight to it.
Dino suit.
Thank you! Crossplay, yes. Today we will announce when Crossplay arrives. Yannick, kick us off. How did we get here?
Well, yeah, as you said, crossplay has been like highly requested feature. I think pretty much since the dawn of the Division, at least the Division 2 for sure. People that have been here for a long time know that every time we talk about the game, every time we talk to players, everybody wants to know about crossplay and when we're bringing crossplay. And we've always said that crossplay would be a very, very hard tech endeavor. The game wasn't built for crossplay in the first place, which means the whole online infrastructure behind the game was not really made for that. And throughout the years, I've been on record several times saying it would be almost impossible to do because it would take so much effort, it would take a complete rebuilding of everything, that we wouldn't be able to do that. But times have changed, and thanks to everybody's support and thanks to the renewed success of the game, now we can be ambitious. And that means we can do things that were impossible in the past, and the moment we can be ambitious, the first thing we set out to do was bringing crossplay to everyone. But it is still a big endeavor. I didn't lie about that. We have a team that is dedicated to it, that is really working very hard on changing everything that needs to be changed to bring crossplay to everyone. But we need to be very careful because we could do a lot of damage if we do it wrong. And we don't want any one of you to lose your saves, to lose any progress, to the game not working the day we deploy crossplay or anything like that. So we have to be very careful and take the time we need, while in the same time try to be as fast as we can because we know a lot of people are waiting for it very eagerly. So what I can tell you today is that as a window, we are aiming for November for crossplay to come.
November. All right.
Yay!
Yes, now I have the confirmation. And Yannick, players have been asking for crossplay for a long time. What's the thing that excites you the most about putting everyone in the same matchmaking pool?
Well, I mean, first doing something that's been asked for so long and finally delivering on it. But it's, the Division is an online game. It's a social experience. And sure, you can play the game on your own if you want, and it's totally fine. And it works that way. It works just well like that. But at the end of the day, we believe that the Division is even more fun when you're playing with others. And it can be with your friends, or that can be meeting players online. So crossplay is just one step towards bringing more social and really trying to bring that community and that player base, all of them together to really hopefully meet new people, make new friends. Platform not being a limitation means maybe also it's an opportunity for you to meet people that play on another platform and understand the game from a different angle. You matchmake, you're on PC, you end up with a PlayStation player, and you're playing the Incursion, and turns out it feels very different, and because you're now match-made, you can talk about it. So I do hope it's going to bring another another layer of togetherness to the player base. And I'm just super excited that we finally get to do it.
To be fair, there's a couple of important notes of what this will mean when it goes live. So first of all, everyone should experience lower queue times. We're unlocking access between all platforms. So if you're queuing up for any activity in the game, queue times should be way resolved because now you're not siloed into your own platform. Then, on the leaderboards aspect, we've had multiple requests throughout time of resetting leaderboards. Well, now, whether we want it or not, because of crossplay and the technical implications, we will do a full leaderboard wipe. So I'm hoping to see some just new times appear. And I think another bit that was really important from the community, and we kept it in mind as we were developing crossplay, was keeping it optional. Some people might not want to play with other platforms, and I think that's fair. So we put in the work to make sure that crossplay will be something that you can opt out whenever you want at any point in time.
That's needed for PvP.
You touched on some technical limitations. Is there anything else that the player should be aware of day one?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, and I think as we get closer to it, we're going to detail even more what does that actually entail, what does crossplay really entail, but I can talk about a few things here. So when we deploy crossplay, what's going to happen behind the curtain is all players will be migrated to the crossplay environment. But as Alex said, crossplay is an option, so we're going to give the option to all of you to decide if you want to play in crossplay or not. So that means in the settings, you will have an option, simple, crossplay on and off. One thing that is important to know is that you will only be able to make that change when you're at the character selection screen, so before you actually enter the game. You cannot change between crossplay or no crossplay while you're playing the game. This is an important limitation for us. So you need to make that decision when you're selecting your character. If you change your mind, you need to log out, make the change, and come back into the game. Crossplay on and crossplay off, simple, means crossplay on, you're going to see everyone. Crossplay off means you're not going to see players that are not on your platform. If you have crossplay on, you're also not going to see players who have crossplay off. So stick with me. We are going to wipe the leaderboards. As Alex said, leaderboards will also have a crossplay on and off option, so you will be able to see, based on what you selected, either players from all platforms or just players from your platform. And then one big part of crossplay that we've had a lot of questions on is clans. So we are going to migrate all the clans to the crossplay environment as well. Means you don't have to recreate your clan. We are going to do that for you. Your clans will be there with the same members. There will not be an option to make a platform-exclusive clan. So clans will be crossplay by default.
I hope they bump up the total people that can be in a clan.
The clan members and the people who can accept invites to decide if they want to accept people from other platforms or not. So we're putting that power within your hands. We are not creating any rules on any of that.
And I'm also happy to say that based on a large part of feedback that we got from the community when we announced crossplay, because everyone is going to be, you're going to be able to break the barriers of platform. We're also going to increase the clan sizes from 50 to 100 to try to accommodate everyone joining up together.
Anyone on YouTube who can't hear the audio, try refreshing the stream.
So November, crossplay arrives. Now, let's shift the focus to Red Horizon. The third season of Year 8 is about to make Washington a whole lot hotter. It launches tomorrow, August 27th.
Tomorrow.
Let's take a look.
Or not.
Let's take a look.
Let's go.
They say it's always darkest before the dawn.
Damn, that was pretty cool.
It's gonna be a red horizon. The cleaners have come to DC, burning everything in their path, hunting for something. Only you can stop them. So gear up, Agent. It's gonna be a long night. work to do.
2 new classified assignments, as always.
It's time to fight fire with fire.
All right,
So,
dropping tomorrow.
Fire.
Fire.
It's always so much cooler when, I mean, hotter, I guess, but cooler anyway, when we have the cleaners. I don't know. You put the cleaners in a trailer and directly it looks nice.
So yes, the cleaners have made their way to Washington. Yannick, can you set the stage?
Yes, so this new season, Red Horizon, obviously is about fire. That's, I think, I don't know if you get a hint. And it's about the cleaners. So this is actually a direct next step after the events of Battle for Brooklyn, the DLC. I hope everyone here played it. If you haven't, close your ears, I'm about to spoil some of it. But
They're finally going to follow up Brooklyn.
In Battle for Brooklyn, you know, the cleaners created a new weapon called the Purple Flame. And they had a refinery where they were building their supplies of Purple Flame. Some of you, someone from you, destroyed that refinery. All of you did. And so that means they no longer have supplies. So they're looking for supplies. And this is why they decided to come to Washington, D.C., because they know that there is a lot of fuel in Washington, D.C., a lot of supplies that they can actually steal and use to keep building or to keep powering their weapons and their fire. So they're coming, but they've gathered a really, really great force. They're coming with a major army to Washington, D.C. They are not here yet. You have time to prepare. You're going to start seeing the vanguard. You're going to start seeing the first signs of the cleaners getting closer to Washington, D.C. You have to prepare the defenses. So this is what this season is about. It's get ready, prepare. A major force of cleaners is coming to Washington, D.C. to burn it to the ground.
And Yannick, we've seen the world being transformed before. Recently we had the Dust Storm event. Players saw Warlords of New York being transformed by the Dust Storm. But now we are talking about transforming Washington, D.C. as a whole. What's going to be the first thing that players will notice when the new season arrives?
So, I mean, I think I can take this one. Obviously, like in the trailer, you're going to start meeting cleaners in the street. This means control points, activities in the open world. We've added cleaners in Retaliation in the DC map, so this is going to be a bit fresh than usual. Of course, like in the previous seasons, they bring in their own elite kill squad that's going to spawn and try to ambush you from time to time. And lastly, we tried something a bit different this time around. Like Yannick said, you're now meeting the vanguard, and we wanted to show players what it means when another faction comes and starts invading DC as time progresses. So at season start, you should see some unusual weather effects in the horizon. I'm gonna let it be a surprise. And as the season progresses and we get closer and closer to the climax, when it's not just the vanguard, they're here now, those effects should intensify specifically to give players this notion of they're here, I can see them, I can feel them, always watching here.
That's pretty sick.
We've been
Environmental
playing
changes
around
are
a
dope.
lot lately, as you know, with transforming the world and changing weather presets and all this kind of stuff. So expect a season with a lot of changes throughout the season happening to the world.
And something that we noticed during the trailer is that the fire carries over to the classified assignments, at least for the first one. What the agents are going to face in this?
Yeah, so we will have a classified assignment at season launch, as usual this year. But this time, for the first time, we are actually tying this classified assignment to the narrative of the season itself. It is also connected to the overall narrative of all the classified assignments, so this is still about investigating the lost agents. But also, by doing that, you're going to a location that is invaded by some of those cleaners that are coming to Washington, D.C. So what that means is, of course, once again, fire in the classified assignment. But as you know, classified assignments, they are puzzle-based experiences. It's a location you go into. There's some combat, but there's a lot of puzzle mechanics. There's a lot of puzzle you need to solve to access the room, to get the keycard, to get the fuse box, and all of that. So once you start using fire as an ingredient in those puzzles, it creates a lot of new opportunities for us to make a classified assignment, but I think it's going to feel quite different from the ones you've had until now.
Yes. Let's talk a bit about gameplay. So the pressure gauge is the big new mechanic this season. Could you give us a little rundown of how that works? And also, since we had a PTS where players tested it, is there any feedback that will be implemented in tomorrow's launch?
For sure. So for players that are watching and haven't kept up, PTS is our public test server. We had a PTS for this particular season a couple of weeks ago where players got to experience the work in progress that was there for Red Horizon. On the pressure gauge, right. So for this season, the special mechanic is going to be the pressure gauge. As you kill enemies in multiple ways, you're going to build up a pressure gauge that appears on the UI. The more you build it up at certain thresholds, you automatically gain a passive bonus to your stats. And after reaching another
Gym Gamer Crossplay in November, new season tomorrow. Those are the big drops so far.
And then that's how it's going to work. It's funny you should mention PTS.
By the way, folks, I'm watching chat the whole time.
It was a really fruitful PTS this time around. We actually got an important piece of feedback. While it's cool to see the pressure gauge go up when doing kills and headshots and whatnot, when players played together and someone was a healer or was playing support or status effects, they wouldn't necessarily get the kill and they'd be stuck with an average pressure gauge. So we actually implemented a change after PTS whereby even assists will count towards the pressure gauge to make it easier for players with any kind of builds to do that. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about active modifiers?
Yeah, I really want to talk about active modifiers. So to be fair, I'm really happy how this season comes together. Sometimes it takes a while to figure out what's the magic for that particular season. For this one, it's quite clear. It's fire. So everything came together really nicely. On the active modifiers, again, they were available for PTS, so I'm just going to briefly touch on them. We have
Fiery Aura.
Fiery Aura, yep. I think that's the one. So that one, once you activate it, you would get damage resistance and then more damage resistance as you're running out of cover. This is basically the anti-hot foot for all the hot foot enjoyers in escalation. This is why we built it. You gain a bit of strength for not being in cover and actually running in front of the enemy. And then...
Are there any hot foot enjoyers?
At least one, come on. At least one person has to enjoy hot. Okay, fine. Well, we made a special active modifier.
I like hot foot more than variety pack.
In the future. And then we have signed shield delivered, which will actually provide a massive boost to your specialization weapons. I know it's easy to play the game without spec weapons. We still really love them, and we wanted to give them particular love this season, so this should help with players that want to switch from primary to secondary to actually using their spec weapon.
You talk about a lot of modifiers. Yannick, do you have a favorite one or something that you're excited for the players to test out this season?
Well, I mean, first I'm just excited to play with fire, but no, I really like the idea of getting to use specialization again. I love the flamethrower. Going into a fire season with cleaners just makes me want to grab a flamethrower and burn everything. The bad guys, not the good guys.
Good distinction.
So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to everything that is spec related, so I can try to put a fire build with the flamethrower and just play around with that.
So we're going to have everything, all the details available in the patch notes that are going to be released right after this stream. You can check there all the description for the 3 active modifiers, the 20 passive modifiers.
No, Sean, I said hot foot over
hostile
variety pack.
Modifiers as well.
I don't like
Something
variety
that we
pack.
have for Season 3 is also Dark Zone, because we just had Season 2 with Into the Dark. We had a new variation of the Dark Zone, the Toxic Dark Zone. So one of the big announcements that we had was the PvE Dark Zone staying for Season 3. Do we have any changes for that?
Yeah, for sure. So originally we planned it to be a seasonal feature. It was just supposed to be for Season 2. The more players played around in the Dark Zone, we saw that they were enjoying it. We had a bunch of requests of please keep it in the game. It's just nice to be able to explore the Dark Zone without being demolished by other players. So with that in mind, yes, we agreed. We're going to keep one Dark Zone to be PvE permanently moving forward. And because it was so tied originally to the mechanics of Season 2, obviously we had to make some changes to it. So we nerfed the toxicity debuff that you get when playing in the PvDZ. Because we got rid of the sample canisters and all of the means of removing toxicity from you, we've made it so that when you tie your gear to the helicopter rope, you now fully remove any toxicity that you've gained, and I think that's pretty cool. And we had one big request, even from the start of Season 2, and I'm happy to say that, yes, we will be removing PvP overrides from the PvDZ, only for that one. Bear in mind, we did make the enemies tougher to compensate for all of the extra power that players will have.
So you talked about being demolished by other players. So we have a special thing for that in works. So you want to talk about the other Dark Zone?
Oh boy. So not only are we keeping the PvDZ, but on this topic, we really wanted to try out something interesting. Speaking about demolishing other players, we're going to also launch a new PvP DZ rule set. So we're not changing the map, we're changing the rules that apply to a particular PvP Dark Zone. We're calling it Blackout, where the experiment that we want to try this season is what happens when all players have completely uncapped power. So you have your SHD watch, you have your expertise. We allow prototype to be used in this PvP DZ. Of course, our lead PvP designer, Florin, did already a balance pass on the augments, so we don't get into really crazy builds, but I think this should lead to an interesting environment for our players where being the apex predator is actually something possible. And to make it worthwhile, because if you're in such a dangerous zone, you might as well be rewarded, you will have the possibility of getting prototype gear within this particular DZ. You might lose it, but you'll drop it at least.
Some people will lose it, for sure.
Yep.
On top of everything mentioned, we also have some seasonal event, of course, so there won't be a boring moment this season. More information on that soon. Now,
Halloween
Red
26.
Horizon isn't the end of Year 8. What can you tell us about the year finale, Yannick? No spoilers now.
Ooh, Season 4.
What can I say without spoilers? There is another season. We are doing a Season 4 this year. The name is to be revealed. The actual content is to be revealed. What I can tell you is that it's going to be focusing on the Black Tusk. It's been 2 seasons already.
Roadmap.
Yeah, 2 seasons, but we've been doing other seasons, or other factions. At the end of Season 1, if you remember, the Black Tusk kind of decided to slow down and refocus on other things because they keep being beaten by us. But now they're going to come back. And they're not coming back alone because they're going to be bringing reinforcements in the form of the White Tusk.
Oh.
So expect a whole new level of challenge.
Legendary
And,
content?
I know we
Question mark.
mentioned maybe in a live stream at some point something about prototype getting reworked and offering recalibration. So originally that was planned for Season 3. Now it didn't necessarily hit the quality bar that we had in plan. We wanted to make sure that when this new version, not necessarily, this upgraded version of prototype goes live, we wanted all players to really love it and enjoy it. So because of that, we have moved the prototype recalibration to Season 4. And to be fair, it makes sense because Yannick hinted already at a couple of things that you'll be able to see in Season 4. Suffice to say that with all of the power that you're going to have and the control you're going to have on prototype, there will be new challenges for which to test those builds of yours.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All of this is very exciting.
All right.
But As we can see on the roadmap, there is one more thing coming year 8. Today, we are revealing the title and the key art of our next DLC. Little drum roll or something. Come on, hype it up.
Give it to me. I want to see it.
Woo!
Let's go. It has a name.
Echoes of Central Park.
Echoes of Central Park. Yannick, what can you
Let's
tell us
get
about
it.
the title and also the locations? Maybe not all agents know why Central Park is so iconic for the Division.
Well, I mean, anybody that's been with the Division since, especially since Division 1, will know Central Park has a special place there. And we love New York City. We always love to go back to New York City. There's so much more to explore in that city, and it's so connected and rooted in the fantasy of the Division, but we wanted to go back there one more time. But when started looking at New York City and what can we do that we haven't done, how can we offer something different that is still connected to New York City, we very quickly landed on Central Park, being like, okay, that's the one thing we haven't done yet. And you know Central Park. If you've played Division 1, you've been to the Dark Zone, you've seen the wall to Central Park, you've seen the body bags that are just like spilling over the wall into the Dark Zone. What exists behind that wall? What exists in Central Park? Not that broken piece of world with 3 trees that people actually glitched their way into in the days of Division 1. This
That was me.
An actual map. But there's so many mysteries around it. And Echoes of Central Park is a way for us to explore that fantasy of like the mystery of the park, those dark woods, what lies within this park, what are people saying about it, how does it influence the life around in the streets that surround the park, and really, more importantly, what actually remains inside the park.
And since we released the first concept art for Central Park, we had a lot of fans exploring a lot of theories on internet, on Reddit especially, with a lot of reference to I Am Legend. What can you tell us without spoilers? This is not the moment for spoilers, but what can you tell us now?
So it's like, tell us more, but don't spoil anything. Okay,
Yes.
sure, I'll do that.
The hardest question that we keep asking.
No, but it's, and so some people picked it up when we looked at online conversation. Yes, there is a darker tone here. We're really playing with the thematic of mystery and fear. So it is not just about Central Park as much as the title is Echoes of Central Park, and we said it's Central Park. In this DLC, Central Park is one part of the map, but you have the streets next to it. So we're going into the Upper West Side. We're going to be exploring those streets, and we're going to be meeting the people who live there. But those people, they are not like the civilians we've seen in other places that got to band together, build communities, and try to survive by working together. Those peoples are petrified with fear. They live every day in the constant fear of the park and what they believe lives inside the park and comes out of the park. And that gives us that kind of darkness, horror vibe that we're going to be playing with for this DLC, which allows us to create a very different tonalities and play with all the different kind of stories you can expect coming from this setting.
That sounds like a fantastic tone.
And again, I know that people, especially on the stream, are like going crazy now, wanting to know more. So at least give us, how does it start?
Well, it starts very originally, like any Division experience. Not a helicopter crash, but a distress call.
I thought he was going to say helicopter
You receive
crash.
a distress call from inside Central Park, and everybody was believed to be dead around there. There should be nothing coming from the park, and yet you get a ping, you get a distress call. So you are sent there to investigate and find out what is this call about, why did they call us, who are those people that are still living inside the park, if anybody is even still alive, what does this distress call mean? But again, everybody was supposed to be dead, so you have zero information. You go into the park completely blind. You don't know anything about what lies in there, what happened there since the days of the collapse. And you're going to find out as you enter into the park, as you start the DLC, you're going to realize that this is a whole completely different world. And you're going to have to untangle those mysteries and find people, find survivors in the streets of Upper West Side to work with you and to help you so you can prepare to go back into the park and face what lies in there.
Yes, these two concept arts that we just saw, we shared on our socials, so most people have probably already seen them. We're at Gamescom, of course, we brought some fresh ones, so let's take a look at the first one.
It's green.
A lot of rain.
Dark.
I mean, it's dark, that's for sure. To be fair,
green.
Sorry. To be fair, Yannick, what you've described so far is really leaning into the fear aspect, and I think so far we've convinced everyone that we're going with this darker tone. Does this fear also imply some horror, maybe?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but yes, the moment we started exploring the fantasy of the park, we need to start building the timeline of like, okay, what actually happened in the park? What do people know, and what do we know? And then what's the canon we build around that? But really, that sense of mystery that exists even within the community of like what is actually Central Park? That's something we wanted to bring into the world itself. And you imagine this huge park and this huge forest that is left abandoned, and nobody's here to maintain it. And what does it become? How does it grow? How does it develop? And very quickly, we really developed that fantasy of the haunted wood, the dark woods. Those stories of like, don't go into the woods. Nobody ever came out alive. And we really wanted to bring that into here to show you a community that is almost back to almost to a tribal structure, because they have no access to information, they have no access to technology to really understand what is around them. So you really step into this darkness, and that's really what gave us this tonality. And then exploring what you're going to find into the park, we really wanted to explore this horror vibe to bring something that is different. Every DLC, every experience we create, we try to... I realize I always look in this direction. I'm sorry, folks, I never look at you. I apologize, I'm going to be looking this way now. But every time we create a new DLC or a new experience, we're trying to bring something different. We're trying to make sure that piece has its own taste, has its own DNA. And so for Central Park, this is where the horror tone came in. So that's really what we want to play around with. But on the other hand, I know I'm saying horror, I'm saying mystery, I'm saying like what lies within the park. We're still a Tom Clancy game, and so we need to make sure that everything we do, there is some level of authenticity there.
That means no zombies.
And we are bending the rules, but we are also still making sure we're respecting the Tom Clancy identity. And that's been a very interesting and very fun challenge, and I think we found the right way to answer that. And I just can't wait for all of you folks to dive into it.
That's amazing. We are just seeing another concept art now, another exclusive one here for Gamescom. And you just mentioned that the tonality is one of the pillars, one of the creative pillars that you created this DLC on. What other pillars do you have here for Echoes of Central Park?
Yeah, so we started working on Echoes of Central Park immediately after we released Battle for Brooklyn. So we took it's the team that built that DLC. We took all the learnings with us on what we liked and what we liked less about Battle for Brooklyn. And what was very clear was that first we wanted to be more ambitious, but ambition doesn't just mean size. It means size too, but it not just means that. It means in terms of what are we proposing here. So actually the very first things we set out to do when we said we're going to make a new DLC is we wanted to bring replayability in this DLC.
Yes, please.
So we are making a content piece that has a story, that has a campaign,
reason to go back.
Also has replayability and reasons for you to come back. So once you finish the story, you don't just throw away the map and that's it. You will have reasons to come back and to revisit and to re-experience this world, re-experience Central Park. It is built with endgame and replayability in mind. And then the other thing was gameplay itself and really the moment to moment. How can we find a way for it to not just tonally, but also once you play it, to feel different? What new ingredients can you bring in here? Can we bring in here?
Silent, pure
to
coincidence,
give it a
I swear.
Identity. So we will have a few new gameplay propositions in this DLC that are going to give it also a different identity from the rest.
Yes, there is a lot more to share about Echoes of Central Park, and you won't have to wait long to find out more. In just a few weeks, we're going to have a dedicated showcase where we share a lot more. So save the date for September 24th, 9 a.m. PT, 6 p.m. CEST. And yes,
It's less than a month. In less
World
than a month,
gameplay
we'll
reveal on
everything.
September 24th.
Not everything.
So I imagine
but
that's when
a
we'll
lot
get
of
the
things.
Yes.
release date.
it's starting to be time to call today a wrap. Do you have any call to action for the agents before we leave the agent, Alex? Agent.
Yeah. So thank you so much for the feedback from PTS. Thank you for trying to help us build the best Division experience that we can. I'm super excited about Season 3. Again, I said it before, it came together really nicely. I think all of the elements are just right. We did do 20 passives again, but this time we removed the math behind them, so you're just gonna log them. They're super fun, they're super straightforward, and they're meant for you to be able to customize your build exactly the way that you want to do it. So thanks everyone here and online as well, and looking forward to seeing the feedback from Season 3.
Yes, enjoy the fire. Also, I want to remind you that tomorrow we have a meet and greet at 11 in the morning. This one will actually be live streamed on Instagram, so that is the Division game. And the silo, the link that is shared in the link, you can use that for those who are here. We have QR codes, so you can scan those, and we can prepare our answers for all your questions, and we can cover as many as possible.
Once again, thank you so much for everyone who is here today. If you, by any chance, are at home and you want to be part of tomorrow, you have 23 hours to be here because we have another panel tomorrow at 6 p.m. So yeah, there's still time for you to come. And today we talk about what's happening soon in the Division 2. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the future. So that's it. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Okay. There we go, people. Day 1 panel.
The Division 2 crew
On the
delivering
horizon.
the goods in the final panel of today's Wednesday Gamescom live stream. Chat, did you get all the goodies you wanted? Talking about the new season, talking about crossplay coming, talking about echoes of Central Park. There's a lot of good stuff there. We're even borrowing a little background from them. And there's more coming tomorrow in just 23 hours. If you're a Division fan, I will see you back here because I will be introing the next Division 2 panel coming at the end of the day tomorrow. So what remains in our broadcast today? We're going to quick recap what happened.
There we go. Let me switch this real quick. We'll get back on some other screen here so we can chat. Go right here. All right. The big announcements from today was that Crossplay is slated to arrive in November. We have the new Red Horizon season coming tomorrow in-game. And then we got the reveal of the Central Park DLC. It's called Echoes of Central Park. There's going to be a lot of horror vibes. They're putting in replayability to the DLC, which I'm a big fan of. I think that was one of the biggest critiques of Brooklyn. And the gameplay reveal of it is happening on September 24th. What do we think, people? Give me your thoughts, your reactions, your predictions. While I wish we got more news on Central Park, this has definitely got me excited. Yeah, I thought they would have showed a trailer or some kind of gameplay, but at least we know when it's happening, and that's in slightly less than a month, so won't have to wait too long. Pretty underwhelming to me. That was an awful way to announce crossplay for November. What would have been your preference for how they announce it? Sounds great. Can't wait for the DLC. No Survivors. That's coming tomorrow. There's a second panel happening this time tomorrow, and that's where they're talking about Survivors. I'm hyped, so ready. The chat is flying by right now. Tomorrow, new season confirmed? Yes, Red Horizon drops tomorrow. We should have the patch notes in just a few minutes here. I think one of the more surprising things they talked about was the pitch for Season 4 with the White Tusk being involved. I mean, they talked about greater challenge and how prototype, like augmentation or recal or whatever they're doing, is going to play into that. So I imagine there's going to be some kind of greater endgame expansion with that season. Season 4 legendary control points. Yeah, I don't know. Something to that degree seems like what they're aiming for. Season 4 is White Tusk and more challenging. Well, given that One for All made Escalation far less challenging, I'm all for them stepping it up a little bit. What news do we have of Survivors? All Survivors news is coming tomorrow. There's going to be a second day panel, so we'll be live again tomorrow if anyone wants to tune back in. But Survivors is the headline for tomorrow. Maybe legendary difficulty for all missions. I'd be surprised since they do them by hand. Like they craft each of the missions by hand for legendary, but maybe just an expansion of where legendary is available for sure. Kind of confused what's White Tusk. White Tusk is a subsect or subfaction of the Black Tusk that is available exclusively in legendary difficulty content. And so them implying that the White Tusk are going to be a part of Season 4 would seem to imply that there will be some greater amount of legendary content or just more challenging content in general. Didn't think we'd be able to revisit Columbus Circle, so hyped. Yeah, actually, let me go back to those pieces of concept art. We can take a look at them. Full screen this. Where did they switch to? Because that one with Columbus Circle looked pretty sweet. Yeah, here it is. That right there. So, I mean, we can see that the cleaners are going to be involved to some degree because you have a cleaners heavy right here with a hostage. And then you have two cleaners snipers and other archetypes firing down at somebody. Probably us, but this is Columbus Circle. This is the location where the Clear Sky incursion took place in the Division 1. Oh, you can even see right here the downed, I don't know what that vehicle is called, the Bluebird or whatever, but this is where the boss like jumped out of in Clear Sky to approach us right here. I mean, the main things for me, they talked about how it's going to really lean into darker and more horror tones compared to Brooklyn, and it's going to have replayability, a reason to go back to the DLC after you complete the main campaign, which is huge for me. That was like one of my biggest hopes for Brooklyn that did not end up panning out. The Osprey. Yes, thank you, Noah. But yeah, I think that's going to be quite exciting. Patch notes are out. Let's see. No, they're not. Oh, yes, they are. It just took a second to refresh. Let me bump up the size of that. Okay, so the official patch notes have dropped for Red Horizon because, again, this is releasing tomorrow. So we'll leave a link for that down in the description so that people can read through it. That is about everything from day 1 of Gamescom, but we will be back tomorrow for day 2. All right. right, I was just saying that for a quick recording, but y'all want to read through these? We can drop a link in the things, I'm sure. Let's get that. Let me go over here. Unable to pin. If we have a mod on Twitch, could one of y'all pin the patch notes link there? Maybe on the YouTube side as well. It's not letting me check it out. Read it together? Yes, that is the plan. I just need to do one thing quickly. If anyone is dipping out now, I fully understand. All the big news is done. Thank you all so much for coming by. Once again, we will be live again tomorrow for panel number 2. But I figure we read through these patch notes here in the meantime. So once again, they said this is arriving tomorrow. This is the key art here for Red Horizon. Gamescom gave us a lot to talk about this year. We shared more of what is ahead for the Division 2, including Crossplay, our next DLC, a first tease of Season 4, and of course Red Horizon. If you missed the panel, you can catch it here. Turn our attention back to DC, where the cleaners are making themselves very much at home. Grab a cup of Kerman coffee, get comfortable, and let's get into everything awaiting for Red Horizon. I'm taking a drink of water before we get into this. By the way, I'll turn the Twitch alerts back on, but thank you all so much who subbed and did all kinds of generous things while we were watching the broadcast there. I see Crossplay in the title. Anything on cross progression? No, they said back at the beginning of this year that cross progression is not something they can commit to in their roadmap at this time, unfortunately. I think I might need to...
A new agent is joining your team.
Oh, maybe it's working right. All right. Modifiers, new gear, blah, 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 blah. I just want to know if you're buffing the Steel and Suns. Please. Mic check, you're cutting in and out. Is that any better? For people on... I haven't seen anyone on YouTube say it. Well, no, I guess I did see. Is the mic any better for anybody listening? Noob streamer, what's up, Andy? Someone said you're fine now. I don't know why it's happening. Sounds fine. Okay. There were audio issues as well on YouTube, but that just happens if you watch for a long time. It's really annoying, though. Okay, people are saying you're good. Let's continue. Modifiers. I'm probably not going to read all this because we already know the full deal from the PTS and from what they just said. We got all of that. Passive mods, hostile. Okay. Gear and balance for gear sets. We are continuing to rebalance them around the idea that a more difficult set... What? Oh, the more difficult a set is to use at its full potential, the more it should give back in return. For Red Horizon, the updates focus mostly on Red Core, with Ortiz, Exuro, and True Patriot included. Blue and Yellow will be addressed in the future. Brand sets, the removing shock resistance, health, incoming repair, and swap speed. Protection from elites is being added. One brand out there will offer a 1 and 2 piece bonus for each weapon class. And the full breakdown. They buffed it. They buffed it. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's open the page so that we can see what's going on here. This is with any changes they may have made after the PTS. So Xero has the range up, amp damage up. True Patriot gets weapon handling instead of ammo capacity, and all the numbers go up. These all look the same from the PTS though. Aces gets 15% higher damage. It gets weapon handling added. The amp damage gets raised. Breaking Point gets that up to 30. Weapon handling, longer duration, higher damage. Hotshot is higher damage. Concentrated Company is longer marks and higher damage. Negotiators is higher damage from the kills. Ongoing is higher damage from the chess piece. Well, higher amp damage for Hollow Point, and then the chess piece goes further. Tipping Scales is still getting a buff, which is pretty wild. And then brand sets, which should now be the adjusted ones. We already looked at all those. I know one of the things they said in the dev notes was that they aren't going to change Murakami. That was previously going to be in here, but it's not. So you can see this column is what they were before, and this is after. Blue Core getting some of the biggest buffs with protection from elites and threats, now available on a lot of stuff. So like 511, Bellstone, and Gila are all going to be really strong, I think. Well, Gila's Hazard, but still. Got all that. And then on the red sets, a lot of the two pieces you'll see now have 24%. So Cheska shotgun damage. Pistols get 48 from Imminence. Legatus is 24. All right, look at these for 2 seconds, chat. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So that is most of that. Let's switch back now to these. Steel and Sun's buff. So the base stability has been increased, reducing vertical coil. Nice, vertical recoil. Maximum stacks increase from 3 to 4. So what, each stack gives you 3%? 4%? I can't remember. But another stack. And destroying an enemy weak point now causes them to take 30% amp damage from you for 5 seconds, up from 10. It's gonna be better. I'm actually really excited to check that out tomorrow. Steel and Sons did get buffed. Then the big controversy here is with Determined. As we know, they are changing regular Determined. It will now function like Perfect, so you can't do an infinite chain. You do one shot, get a free headshot, then you go back. They are adding in the Iron Will chess piece, which basically does what old Determined did with a 2-second cooldown. And we already did a whole video on the dev notes of them talking about it, which you can go look at, but that is a big thing that's happening. The Fafnir is one of the new exotic weapons this season. It has a 40% chance of applying burn, so this has been buffed big time from the PTS. And then you get 50% amp damage to... Oh. Implied by 50%. Oh, did they change this? I thought it used to be 30% amp damage to ignited enemies. Am I wrong about that? Actually, I'm on the website. I can check for myself. I thought for sure the initial pitch was straight up amp damage to ignited enemies. But maybe I'm wrong. Oh. So I'm just wrong. I think I said that in my video too. No one called me on it. Okay, I was wrong about how that worked. Weapon damage is amplified by 50% of your status effect bonus. So, Fafnir's burn application is still affected by the usual status effect diminishing return on enemies. Because of this, you may sometimes see the burn applied less often than 40% would suggest. That's probably why it felt so low on the PTS. Was because it was impacted by the diminishing returns aspect of things. We've got that. We've got Iron Will, which again, they changed the cooldown to 2 seconds. It's 3 in PvP, which I have big concerns over this thing in PvP, but so be it. There it is. Also, this is not... Am I wrong? Isn't this the beacon? It's even got the lighthouse back there. Either they didn't update the visuals for this, or this is the wrong card. Ember Engine, they also buffed up. So every status you apply is a 40% chance of applying burn to the enemy. And then the chance goes up to 60 on there. Violet Decay, what's going on? Does your name come from going rogue in the DZ? Do you have really good PvP builds? Do you have a clan we could join? New to D2 started this weekend. Well, welcome. I hope you are enjoying your time. We do have PvP builds on the channel. I do play a decent bit of DZ and PvP. If you type in !build in the chat, oh, not Lucas already did it, but that will link you straight to my playlist. You can find PvP builds there. I unfortunately don't run any kind of public clan or even an active clan. However, there are a bunch of recruitment pages. You can go to our Discord server if you type in !Discord. We have clan recruitment channels in there. There's also a bunch in the Division's official Discord. So there's a lot of people out there who will be happy to take you in and help you learn the game more. But thanks for being here. I hope you continue enjoying. This is the Ember Engine key art. We're getting 4 named gear pieces, finishing out the rotation of perfect talents that we didn't have. So reassign, tag team, concussion, protector. That's what all of those do there. Postman is never ignored. I acknowledge him every single time. New weapons and talents. We have the Boiling Point talent, which makes it so the first 53% of your magazine will have a negative 100% crit chance, but the rest will have 100%. So if you build a build for complete crit damage, then the back half of your mag will just deal nothing but crits. Interesting concept. I've seen the math, and apparently it's actually going to be pretty decent. You just need to really build and play around it. So that's on the way. Retaliation. It's been 1 year since Retaliation launched, and to mark the occasion, you'll be able to take on a special project change from September 8th to the 22nd. The objectives will send you back into retaliations against different factions. Each completed project comes with useful materials and caches, with an outfit token awaiting at the end as a main reward. You can choose it to unlock one eligible outfit of your choice from the store. There's more to earn during the first week. From the 8th to the 15th, Retaliation Surge will be active, doubling the faction materials you earn from all sources. All right, so that's some new information. Retaliation stuff coming up. Did they announce a DLC date? Not the release date, but there's a gameplay reveal and kind of a greater showcase for it, where I'm sure they will give the date on September 24th. That's the big info they gave there. All right, Dark Zone and PvP. Red Horizon brings the Blackout DZ, and Toxic DZ is now going to be permanent. Dark Zone variants will rotate weekly across West, East, and South, with 1 PvE and 2 PvP available at any given time. Toxic and Balanced will remain active each week, while Blackout and Classic alternate. That makes sense. Toxic DZ is here to stay. Given that this season's modifiers are no longer active, we've made a few changes. Let me shift my mic here really quick because I'm basically looking at this sideways. Made a few changes so it can continue as a permanent PvE Dark Zone. Other factions can now appear, including Black Tusk. Right, it won't just be hyenas anymore. Sample canisters and surges have been removed. Toxicity has been adjusted. Extracting gear will now clear your toxicity level, which is a great change. I think that's how it should have been, honestly, from the beginning. And then normalization remains active to scale players and the gear to level 40. However, PvP-specific overrides are no longer there. You still won't be able to use prototype gear. It'll act the same as in raids and incursions, but when you go into the PvDZ, it's not going to give your builds the PvP stats. It'll be regular, what's it called? Functions now. Morton Ryberg in the chats. What is up, Morton? Good to see you, sir. Wish I had time to play again. You keeping busy these days? I hope you're well, man. Division 2 is still going. They're putting out DLCs. It's pretty wild compared to a few years ago, as I'm sure you know. But I hope all is well. Landmark chests in Toxic DZ now have a 20% chance to drop a contaminated cache. These caches use the same special loophole. Oh, interesting. So some extra rewards there. Blackout DZ artwork. We already know the full details there. You can use prototype. The enemies are a little bit tougher. Rewards. You can get prototype drops from the Blackout DZ. These are the drop chances for those right here. And then it matches the exotic component drop rate as the other Dark Zones. Oh, I did want to see this. So we know that the skill changes are coming, and that, I imagine, is going to be mostly the same as what it was in the PTS, which is a super confusing chart. I mean, it's a lot of changes, but... Oh, this is good. So orange displays previous PvP change stats for comparison. Green shows them... What? Green shows stats that are identical in both PvE and PvP. Red tuned higher or lower. So, for a couple points of reference, the burn sticky in PvP used to do 218,000, but it's really the burn damage that's the better one to compare to. But you can see that's down. Stuff like the decoy now has a way shorter duration and longer cooldown at tier 0, which it should. So that's good. Stuff like the mortar, which is of course very oppressive in PvP, used to do 182, and with a 7500 bleed, it now does 145 with a... Oh, the bleed damage went up a little bit, but the base damage is down. So a bunch of changes there. Again, this is all in the patch notes that we have linked and that you can check out on the website. This is then changes to stats, brain sets, gear sets, all of that. These are all changes from the brain set changes that are happening across the game in this one. They've also adjusted, oh yeah, for the sets that got adjustments there. This is what I wanted to look at though. So they've changed a good amount of talents. Boiling point is going to be 90% in PvP. Definitely will not be running that. Reassign, tag team concussion. These are some of the ones they changed. 15 and 20. That's down a little bit from the live game. Unbreakable is now 15%. Will not be using Unbreakable. Protected reload is down. Adrenaline rush is down. So a lot of those survivability-based talents got tuned down again. Ember Engine. System corruption. What do they do here? 24-second cooldown. Repairs 30%. 30% bonus armor. This is the PvE value on the left, so I don't actually know what changed there, but something did. Can someone link the patch notes? They should be linked in both chats, I think. I think the mods did that. It might not have happened on YouTube, but it's linked at the top of the Twitch chat. The underboss has a bit lower values. Steel and Sons. There's some stuff there. They nerfed the Eagle Bearer again in PvP. Sad. This got tuned down like crazy compared to what it used to be. It's gotten readjusted like 3 times now. Tenacity only lasts 4 seconds. Maximum of 50% damage mitigation. Sad times. Tardigrade is down a little bit. I'm still concerned for the Iron Will. I think that's going to be a problem, but that's just me. All right, let's keep going. Oh, wait, where were we? Oh, this is the wrong one. We want this one. So that's all the PvP balance stuff that is changing. Quality of life, they're doing a PvP stat change so that it kind of shows stuff by default now. And then you can go to the shooting range to better look at some of that stuff. Splinter, what's up, my guy? What more than say? I've been put in place as managing director of the company, so goodbye life. Wow. Well, congrats on the promotion. But that is a lot, I'm sure. Bro sounded so defeated, they nerfed the Eagle Bear. Sad. It's a shell of its former self, you know? Alright, let's keep going. Where's my mouse? There we go. Further on quality of life. True Patriot and ongoing directed materials and blueprints have been added to the general loot pool. Okay, so you should be able to get these now from like control points and whatnot. Following blueprints have also been added to the general loot pool: Unit Alloys, Royal Works, Edelweiss, Concentrated Company, Core Strength, and Ortiz. Following blueprints, I can't talk today. Following blueprints are now available from Anaya, Agitator, Investor, Caduceus, Nurses, Whiplash, Underboss. Caduceus and Nurses have been added to targeted loot. No Steel and Sons? Or Prima Donna? I'm glad that some of these are getting their blueprint. But that means you got to keep farming the incursion, which honestly, you know, elitist take here. I like that there's a reason to keep going and get more. It just feels a little weird when every other item has one and they don't. But I assume it's because they are incursion items. So gonna have to keep farming that. And then fixes, gear, weapons, and talents. Oh, here we go. We've got attempt number 12 to fix the Tinkerer. I hope it works. I'm crossing my fingers, as I say every time, but we will see. Tech plate and anti-carrier prototypes and the correct talents. Fix an issue with these missing the reconfigured blueprints. Prima Donna stacks transferring to the gear shift. Broken Rain. Fix an issue where one of the beaver collectibles would appear floating in midair. Move to a nearby location. Here we go. Mission objective not updating. So maybe you can still actually use negotiators on Iris, because this just says the chainsaw boss. I thought they would have fixed that. And there you go. UI, deconstruct, PlayStation commendation, skins and dyes, missions and world. Okay. Cause players on Steam Deck to be kicked by Easy Anti-Cheat. Should now work properly on Steam Deck in case you play on there. And then we have the new classified assignments. I like that they said this is going to tie into the season's narrative this time. They don't show the picture of it here, but the second one that they showed during the stream looked pretty cool. No sound bug fixes. Yeah, that is tragic. I think they're, after that one fix that they did not work, I think they're still looking into it, but obviously I hope they can figure that out soon. 2 new assignments will be dropping. One is tomorrow, the District Mall Inferno, and then the other one is on October 15th. First sends you to the District Mall after Agent Felix McNally is attacked while trying to recover broad-spectrum antivirals, with the cleaners closing in on an unknown assailant linked to an SHD anomaly still unaccounted for, so that's Max. The second takes you into an area of Georgetown completely uncovered by the Shade Network, where a JTF engineer sends a team to install new tech that has gone missing. Very nice. Season pass. You can see some of the outfits there. Premium track gets you arm patches, Red Horizon, Seeker Mine, skill VFX, outfits, extra copy of the Fafnir, Fafnir weapon skin, dyes, skins, all that stuff. Free track, you also get a VFX, outfit, Iron Will, Fafnir, all of those. That's cool. I like that mask. Oh, this is the big bundle thing. Gives you the classified assignments and all of those. Oh, they're bringing back another Division 1 mask. All right. Halloween is not too far away, and we'll have more to share soon about what we've prepared for the occasion. But otherwise, that is the majority of the patch notes for tomorrow's update. Lazaire said, as much as the noise bug bothers me, I'm actually not going to complain anymore because finally it's getting the attention it needs. Yes, definitely continue sending in reports to it on the bug reporter, even if it seems fruitless. They say that they're able to pull data from that every time that it pops up, so it very much helps out. How do you feel about the clan updates they're bringing in along with leaderboard changes? Do you think they are going to do any clan focus changes? I mean, probably not beyond what they announced. I think that at the beginning is just a quality of life update along with crossplay, but hopefully in the future they do. I mean, I think a lot of people would enjoy seeing clan updates, whether it's to rewards or systems or activities. I don't know. But maybe that's something we could see in year 9 if we get that. Well, all right, everybody. Did they put anything else up on there? On here? Let me zoom in on this. We had a lot share at Gamescom, so this is what we just... Well, is that what we just looked at? Is that what we looked at? Or is this another article? Oh, this is a different article. Crossplay arrives in November. So this is all the information. Migrated to crossplay environment. It will be enabled by default, but you can disable it from the character select screen. You can counter agents from support platforms to also have it enabled. Clan capacity will be increased up to 100. Crossplay settings will be reflected in the leaderboard display. Yeah, coming in November. Then we have next season, which we took a look at. This is that roadmap they shared. It's very pixelated on the website here. But I also saw this during the stream. It does say this roadmap excludes the Division 2 survivors. So we'll hear more about that tomorrow. But Season 3 tomorrow with crossplay. Then there will be a Season 4. And then Echoes of Central Park DLC coming. Oh, here we go. During the panel, we shared an early look at what agents can expect from Season 4, including the return of the Black Tusk and a hinted possible White Tusk deployment. Season 4 will also bring major changes to several of Year 8's endgame systems. Year 8's endgame system. So, Escalation? Is what that sounds like to me. Or Broken Rain. Prototype gear is being reworked to give players significantly more control over how they progress and customize their items, reducing the system's reliance on RNG. The changes will touch expertise, augment, and introduce new ways to fine-tune prototype gear. That's a little bit more than they led on to in the stream. Any particular crossovers you'd like to see you think would be thematically appropriate? Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon. I'm not particularly a huge fan of crossovers. I don't really mind if they happen, but I also don't. I wouldn't be one to champion seeing more. I don't really care for them. To be honest, I'd prefer Division stay Division. So a new season starts tomorrow? Yes. Yeah, they posted the, They posted somewhere. I got a notification for it. Here it is. So servers are going down tonight at these times. 6.5 hour estimated downtime. And the new season will be available once the maintenance is complete. But yeah, that's an interesting... So less RNG with prototype. It'll touch on expertise augments and new ways to fine-tune gear. Escalations are also evolving in Season 4. Season 3 addresses one of the biggest pain points by preventing tokens from being lost after a disconnect. Oh, well, that's kind of big. But there's more ahead. In Season 4, agents will have greater control over the challenge and rewards of their escalations, while changes to mutators to make them more consistent and predictable. We'll have much more to share about Season 4 in the future. So these two bits are kind of new information. They did not talk about that in the stream. But less RNG for prototype, and apparently starting tomorrow, you'll no longer lose escalation tokens after disconnecting. So that's pretty big. And then our next expansion, Echoes of Central Park. New York City has always had a special connection to the Division, but there's one iconic location we've never truly explored, Central Park. During the outbreak, Central Park was used as a mass burial ground. Years later, what remains inside the park is unknown. Years later? In the timeline, isn't it 1 year later? Less than a year? That's an interesting detail. That question sits at the heart of Echoes of Central Park. The expansion begins with a distress call coming from somewhere inside the park. Across the Upper West Side, rumors are spreading about what lies beyond its gates. Agents will need to investigate those reports, prepare for what lies ahead, and eventually enter Central Park to uncover what has happened there since the outbreak. So those are the same two concept art pieces they showed us on stream. Echoes of Central Park leans into a darker atmosphere where fear can be just as dangerous as any enemy. What happens when fear begins to spread, and how do you fight something you cannot always see? Interesting. And then we have the showcase on September 24th. We will definitely be live for that. That'll be fun to see. You won't have to wait long to see more. Join us then, where we'll reveal more of what awaits inside Central Park. Before then, there's still work to be done in DC. Season 3 arrives tomorrow, August 27th. Until next time, agents. Well, folks, that is, I think, just about everything that they announced today. And this is a good piece of key art. New season tomorrow, crossplay in November, DLC full reveal coming on September 24th. That is the news. Tomorrow, we will be live again because they're doing a second panel. Can I pull up the schedule, maybe? They're doing a... Whoa, that was way too zoomed in. A second panel called March into the Future, where we know they're talking about survivors and assumedly other stuff as well. So, if you enjoyed today's stream and watching it all and reacting alongside me, we can do it again tomorrow. I'll be going live about at the same time, roughly 30 minutes before, and then apparently, I guess once we're done with the panel, we will dive straight into the live game for Season 3. So it'll be a double up stream of watching Gamescom and then playing the new season. drops tomorrow. I'm not currently aware of there being any Twitch drops. That might change. Maybe they were just saving them to send over. But currently I'm not aware of any drops. We'll find out. Survivors in March. We will see. But folks, I think that is going to wrap it up for this one. Actually, can I pull up this thing? Put it on this. This is coming tomorrow. And we'll have plenty of videos for it on the channel. I'm going to go start working on the recap video in case anyone missed out or tuned in late. We'll have a full video up talking about what went down at day one. Matt Kane, thank you for the 200 bits, man. And before we close out, I have to give a major thank you to Demon Redeeming the Go Rogue. I have to give a major thank you to everybody for the insane kindness and generosity today. Really, just too much. But thank you all so much for the love. I hope you enjoyed, and we will be live once again tomorrow for day 2 with survivors and hopefully more. I don't know what else they're going to talk about unless they actually drop a Division 3 teaser, but the UB host said drops tomorrow. Oh, maybe. I suppose we will see. But yeah, once again, folks, thank you all so much for your incredible support and love as always. I could not be appreciative enough. Recap video coming soon on the channel, and apparently new season tomorrow. So we have a busy rest of the week ahead of us. I hope you're excited. I will see you all back tomorrow for Gamescom Day 2. And until then, take care. RogueGold out.